Twilight of the Lying Dead.
There they go again, banging on that front door. Every night, it's the same freaking thing. Once a corpse, always a corpse. That's what I say. Yes, corpses. The newly regenerated dead, the neo-stiffs, as we living folks like to call them, rise from their chuck holes or coffins or wherever. Then they proceed to terrorize us weak-minded lifers, which is what we've come to call ourselves. Not all of the dead return, mind you. Some of the ones who were lazy pricks while they were still alive, well, they just continue to rot in their graves. I suppose this shouldn't surprise anyone with at least half an imagination. Surely it doesn't surprise me. Not one bit. And the ones who have returned from the reeking beyond, God, do they stink to high heaven. They leave a lot to be desired. They're so utterly lacking in self-esteem that they have to wear hats and jewelry just to make themselves feel important. Some of them are so self-conscious about the way that they look and how bad they smell that they try to cover it up with cheap perfumes and scented deodorants and the like. But the one habit they all share, the thing that gets everybody pissed off among us lifers, is the fact that they lie about things straight-faced because they don't want to be confronted with the truth about their unkempt manner of dress and their decaying ugliness. You'd figure the least that they could do is admit that they're disgusting brutes. But no, they've got to be jerks about the whole thing and live in denial. The ones who really get my goat are the neos who weren't really bad dudes to begin with. The dead idiots like my neighbor Jock Lasky or my cousin Lorraine the seamstress, neither of whom had been a hooligan back in the day, as they say. Now, just to impress their dead friends and lovers, they act like malicious children with a belly full of candy. Don't start puking when I tell you that. Yes, lovers. You ever seen two corpses try to screw each other while they're standing up before? Yuck! It's a sorry sight. Believe you me. And their eating habits, boy, what a holy mess. They chop right through people's skulls and eat their brains and stuff, and they especially like chewing through folks' rib cages and then masticating the inner organ meats and the blood-soaked entrails. It's quite a sight to behold if you've never seen it done before. Jeff Skimmery, the left-handed sociology major at the university, goes out every night with his notepad and tries to encode the whole scene for posterity. One of these nights he's going to get eaten to pieces for his troubles. That guy, it doesn't seem to bother him. Many of the neos just ignore him because they feel flattered by the attention that he shows them. He's sort of a cross between Boris Karloff and Margaret Mead. Who knows? Maybe that's a good thing in the long run. You might ask yourself, how do these dead bodies come up out of their graves and off morgue tables? It just doesn't seem right, does it? Well, when you think about it, how come we walk around inside live bodies every day for 70 or 80 years? That's just as much of a mystery, if not more so. If we can do it, why can't they? We go around eating cow and fish body parts. Lots of them, the neos that is, are disgusted by the sight of crab meat and Philly steak burgers and shit like that. Crab has little pieces of shell in it, so it gets stuck in between their teeth, kind of like loose kernels of cheese popcorn. So what difference does it make if polar radiation or exotic man-made chemicals are to blame for waking up the dead? I'll leave stuff like that to curly-haired eggheads like Jeff Skimmery to figure out. That is, if he lives long enough to figure it out. Enterprising dead entrepreneurs have opened up cinemas and coffee houses for these deadbeats. Lots of the neos sit around watching horror films about live people and the ways we have of fucking up this planet royally. You should see how freaked out and kinetically charged the neo-stiffs get when they're exposed to that level of cinematic brainwashing. Us lifers often have to wait up to 6 months just to see the watered-down versions of these flicks, just to check them for artistic accuracy. In light of the present circumstances, none of us even knows if we'll still be alive 6 months from now. Still, it's a rather interesting cross-cultural phenomenon to view such movies. I hear tell that there's a fierce, aesthetically active art underground among the neos. So they're not just a bunch of atavistic brain eaters, apparently, after all. Will wonders never cease? There are two ways to handle these dead bastards and bitches whenever they break into your house and try to gorge themselves on your entrails. First, you can take a loaded rifle and blow their heads off. It does make quite a mess on the carpet, yet it is rather effective at halting the advance of a particularly pesky cadaver. The other way is to engage them in conversation. Don't laugh. Like I said earlier, these clowns lie through their rotted teeth just to impress anybody within earshot. Almost invariably, if you catch them off guard with an incisive comment, they'll knock themselves silly trying to fabricate stories about this or that. You know what liars are like. Then you can just politely escort them out the door like local politicians canvassing your home a week before the election. Excuse me, here comes one right now. I have no idea how the hell he got in here. Oh crap, he broke the window. What an assiduous young vandal. Hey buddy, I hear you don't know how to build a handmade bird bath. See? He's stopping to think about it. Listen to the bullshit fly. What a talebearer this guy is. And see, he's pushing some other guy so that the second one can't get in through the same window. What did I tell you? It works every time. So yes, I do live in mortal fear. One of these nights, I won't be so lucky. There, let me fix that window. Aw, shucks, I have to shoot one of them right between the orbs. Bingo! Some things are even better than kinky sex. Woo-wee! Every evening, just about dark time, the pattern repeats itself. Then you can sit and watch soap operas or Dr. Phil reruns while the sun's out if you survive another night. Well, you know the old saying, at dawn we were born, to dusk we shall return. I've learned to live by that menacing creed. Adios. End of story.